Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduction myself. My name is Lia Hartati. I am a master student for University of Medan. My presentation about the influence of situational leadership, work discipline, and achievement motivation on teacher effective commitment in junior high school. Outline, introduction, literature review, experimental procedure, result, discussion, and conclusion. Education has an important role in shaping everyone's personality. Even education can change a person's mindset with regard to professional teacher in Indonesia. Many efforts have been made to improve the quality of teachers in order to implement the national education system and realize the goals of national education. The government has issued government regulation PP number 30 2099 concerning the work assessment of civil servants, which consists of assessment of work behavior and assessment of PNS government employer performance. Weighting of SKV value and work behavior of civil servants, appraisal officers, and PNS performance appraisal team or methods of assessment. Follow-up assessment in the form of performance reporting, performance rating, performance awards, and sanction and objection and performance information system for civil servants. Organizational commitment has an influence on change in an employer's attitude at work. The aim of studies 1. To analyze the influence of situational leadership on work discipline. 2. To analyze the influence of situational leadership on achievement motivation. 3. To analyze the influence of situational leadership on teacher effective commitment. 4. To analyze the effect of work discipline on teacher effective commitment. 5. To analyze the influence of achievement motivation on teacher effective commitment. Next, literature review, teacher effective commitment, according to Granbeck and Baron, 1995, page 2011, that the effective commitment is the strength of a person's desire to continue working in an organization because they share the core value and goals of the organization. A person feels a high level of effective commitment to remain in the organization because he support the stabilism of the organization and has a desire to help the organization mission. Effective commitment is the level of physiological relationship with the organization based on how well the feelings about the organization. Situational leadership. Situational leadership is leadership that focuses on the readiness of followers. Situational leadership is the number of instruction and direction given by the leader, the amount of emotional support provided by the leader, and the level readiness or maturity of followers who are sworn to carry out specific task, function, or specific goals. Literature review. Work discipline. Work discipline is a condition that causes or encourages employers to act and carry out all activities in accordance with established norms or regulation. Discipline as a force that develops in the body of employers and causes employers to voluntarily to voluntarily eject decision, regulation, and high value and work and behavior. Achievement motivation. Achievement motivation is a drive from within to overcome all challenges and obstacles in an effort to achieve goals. Achievement motivation is the drive to excel based on a set of standards to strive to be successful. Robbins points out that there are people who have a very strong drive to success. The grapple for personal assessment but not for the mere reward of success. They have a desire to do something better than what has been done before. Experimental procedure. This research was conducted using quantitative methods with determinant based on the Cauchy table PET analysis. The population in this study were 159 teachers of the State Junior High School in Medan Daily District. The number of samples in this study were 30 people, 13 people per school of the State Junior High School in Medan Daily District. For data collection, a questionnaire was carried out after testing the validity and reliability of the instrument. Hypothesis testing of the research was carried out by PET analysis after testing the requirement of analysis, namely the data normality test and linearity test. The results of the calculation show that the research data is normality distributed and the relationship between pairs of exogenous and endogenous variable has a linear relationship. Data description that will be presented are situational leadership variable data X1, work discipline X2, and achievement motivation X3 on teacher effective commitment X4. Hypothesis testing is carried out to answer research problems that have been formulated using statistical computation of correlation coefficient and following the path or significant testing summarized in table 2 below. This is data description that will be presented are situational leadership, variable data, X1, work discipline, and achievement motivation, X3 on teacher, effective commitment, X4. The direct effect of situational leadership on teacher effective commitment is 0.190%. The effect of work discipline directly on teacher effective commitment is 0.057%, and the direct effect of achievement motivation on teacher effective commitment is 0.054%. Is 0.054%. The indirect effect of situational leadership on teacher effective commitment through work discipline is 0.0056%. The indirect effect of situational leadership on effective commitment through achievement motivation is 0.0063%. Thus, the total direct and indirect influence of situational leadership on teacher effective commitment is 0.131%. Based on the PET coefficient value obtained from the calculation result, the research variable PET diagram can be described as in figure 1 below. Discussion. Based on the results of hypothesis testing, it showed that situational leadership has a positive direct effect on work discipline. This finding does not contradict previous research which found that situational leadership style has a positive and significant effect on employer work discipline. The finding of the study indicate that there is a positive direct influence between situational leadership on achievement motivation in State Junior High School in Medan Daily District. This finding is in accordance with previous research which states that the principal situational leadership has a positive and direct impact on teacher achievement motivation. Situational leadership directly effect of effective commitment in State Junior High School in Medan Daily District. The findings of this study are consistent with the research of previous study on teacher effective commitment showing that teacher perception of principal leadership have a positive direct effect on teacher effective commitment. The magnitude of the influence of work discipline directly affected the effective commitment of teacher at State Junior High School in Medan Daily District. This finding is consistent with previous research which suggests that work discipline has a positive and significant effect on organizational commitment. Achievement motivation has a positive direct effect on the effective commitment of teacher at State Junior High School in Medan Daily District. This finding is consistent with previous research which suggests that work discipline has a positive and significant effect on organizational commitment. Achievement motivation has a positive direct effect on the effective commitment of teacher at State Junior High School in Medan Daily District. This research is in accordance with the research results. This finding is consistent with previous research which suggests that work discipline has a positive and significant effect on organizational commitment. Achievement motivation has a positive direct effect on the effective commitment of a teacher at State Junior High School in Medan Daily District. This research is in accordance with the research results previously stated that there is a direct effect of achievement motivation on the principal effective commitment. The result of hypothesis testing found that the variable that had the most influence on teacher effective commitment were achievement motivation, followed by work discipline and situational leadership variable. Next, conclusion. Situational leadership has a positive effect on teacher effective commitment in carrying out tasks. School as an organization will certainly always try to create conditions that are able to encourage teachers to realize effective commitment to the organization. Work discipline in this study is able to increase teacher achievement motivation as subordinate to the principal. A high level of trust In the latter, will support with enthusiasm and full confidence. This results in positive work experience that can increase teacher effective commitment. The results of this study state that situational leadership, work discipline, and accepted motivation can be used to form the effective commitment of teacher at Medan Delhi District Junior High School so that the enforcement of the results of this study state that situational leadership, work discipline, and accepted motivation can be used to form the effective commitment of teacher at Medan Daily District Junior High School so that the enforcement of regulation can be applied so that the attendance rate and target teacher SKP as ASN can be achieved. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.